This is the one that you're going to use the most. And sadly, you're getting the same thing twice. But you're getting the full one. I did this for the TNT class yesterday, but I just bare bonesed it. There's 55 slides here. We did 12 yesterday. But some of them are going to repeat. All right, so my last year of college, I was a homeschool physical education teacher. My cousins were homeschooling, and some were in high school, some were down to like 7th and 8th grade, and now they're all married and kids, and one of them's working on her doctorate in New York. She's getting a doctorate in like musical something. She went to some, what's it, consortium or something? No, there's like a fancy name for music colleges. I can't remember what it's called right now. She went to one in New York there, but at the time she was like 7th or 8th grade, and I finished my class. I think I was doing floor hockey, and I know they were doing floor hockey after me because it was after basketball tournament, and at that point they were allowed to ding up the floor with hockey sticks after basketball seasons are all done. And these two guys, one was named Jared Henry. He used to work at Rio, and another guy, I think his name was Jared Dahl. Like it was Jared squared is what they called him for fun. But they came in and I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, oh, we're doing floor hockey. I was like, what drills are you doing? They're like, we don't know. I'm like, what? You're teaching in 5 minutes. I'm like, you can't do that. This is what gives physical educators a bad rep, is when you walk in with no plan and just try to wing it. Now, if you've been teaching for a decade and you've taught this lesson 10 times, yeah, you can teach pretty much off the top of your head. But no, don't do that. Yeah. So we're going to talk about lesson plans, and at the end of this, I'm going to give you the most awesome website that you can get everything in 5 minutes or less and have all the details you need with videos. It's awesome. So before instruction, teachers must make decisions that will drive the learning experience, and physical education is no different than that. So planning is critical. We all know that. You're all education majors, and so you've all had to go through all this type of stuff too. So this is all, you got to do it. It's really good for you. So making sure you have outcomes. Now, physical education outcomes are not too different from your other ones, and you can find them all in your curriculum guides and stuff of things that you have to hit and all those standards-based things that you're going to have to do at some point here in the near future. So there's kind of 4 things you're looking for there, and there's actually another 4 things after that. So I think actor is the wrong word there. I looked in the book, and is it actor? Really? Okay. Behavior, condition, and degree. And so those are all the things that you want in each of those outcomes. And so here's what kind of some standards are. Standard number 1, can skip in a zigzag pattern or pathway demonstrating 2 of the 4 cues, which of course they don't give you the cues. Kick a rolling ball, combine a locomotive and manipulative skill, as in move and manipulate an object at the same time. Dribbling a basketball is a really easy one to envision that. Can you walk and dribble a ball? And then you can kind of keep going on all those things there as well. All right, so I really like an assessment every lesson. And that can be something really simple. That could be, I want you to be able to, with a partner, catch a ball 6 times in a row each, or 6 times in a row. So, toss to one person, 1, toss back 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Something simple like that. If you're doing a volleyball lesson, I want you to be able to hit the ball back to your partner once. Something simple like that. Or it could be all the way into a actual written assessment at the end of the class, which we don't do nearly enough in physical education. Please be the physical educators that make sure they actually take a test of some sort. And it doesn't have to be hard. It can just be, what did you learn today? And have them write one. I mean, if you're working with 3rd and 4th graders that are starting to work on writing full sentences, write a sentence, what you learned in physical education today. And it'll be, I learned to play soccer. I mean, that would be using things in the gym and in the classroom at the same time. And that's an awesome way to do it. I have a really cool counting one, I think, later today. So should be reflectable to a measurable outcome. Another thing I like to do is, and I think I have them later, is on the side wall right next to the door. You tap, so as everyone, like the top one would be like, I did awesome, I did okay, I should do more effort, or I need help as they're walking out of the gym. Any one of those will work. Turn off the... Things were honking all the way through the classes yesterday, too. All right, so the outcome in the assessment should drive much of the content, and that's really why you want to have that assessment at the end of class. At the end of class, I want them to be able to toss a ball. I want them to be able to run with proper form. I want them to be able to shoot a basket by standing on one leg and shooting with the opposite hand. I mean, just something, it doesn't have to be crazy, but having an assessment that you are going to check at the end of class is always a good thing. And it also gives you a goal to get to every single day. So when you're writing out all your billions of lesson plans, bless you elementary teachers that are doing everything, having this week in physical education, I want them to get to this point. And on Friday, we're going to make sure we have an actual assessment of what my goal was. And some of them may not get it, and that's okay. They can keep trying. I mean, it's not high-risk assessments in K-4. Let's see, what else we got here? Curriculum, activities should reflect what the teacher will emphasize in terms of their outcomes. So things that you need in your lesson plan. So this would be like the headers at the top. So you want what outcomes you want them to get. Definitely need to have equipment required. My goodness, do you need to have equipment? Because at least right now, when you put a lesson plan in, then you're sending an extra email to me saying, I need this tomorrow morning. And that way I can have it out of the closet so that you can set it all up when you get here. I need cones and soccer balls. I need, whatever you need, but that way you've thought about it before you get to class. And if you're doing this in your classroom, having all your physical education equipment in the closet in your classroom is great, because then nobody messes with the other teachers. 2, you can have it all ready to go before class or before your day starts. I'm going to need cones and soccer balls. Get one of those big laundry bags. Hang on, let me show you one. So this is my TT for soccer class. This is what we're going to use for class on Tuesday. So I have a bag. This is a very fancy one, but you can just go to Walmart for $5. They might be $6 now. I think they've gone up a little bit. But you can just get any little drawstring laundry bag and then a set of cones. This is a very fancy way to do it, but you can get it for way cheaper. I would actually put these in there so that when physical education time comes, you just grab the bag and go. It's also not a bad idea to have them like up on the wall. And then have multiple bags for different types of games that you want to do. Have all your kickballs in one spot. That kind of thing. And big thing, teaching hints. And you don't have to write down word for word what you want to say for instructions, but you want to have like the main points that you want them to cover. Stand on your left foot, leg goes back, hit with the side of your foot. Those kind of things are going to be on there. So there are 4 steps that I want in your lesson. And it's really kind of 4 activities for, let's say, a 30-minute lesson. You're going to have, I think, 35 minutes. Yeah, we're going to go from 10:10 to 10:45. So you have 35 minutes for your classes when you have them, because we're going to have 3 teaching labs with the elementary school over here. So the first thing you need is an introductory warm-up activity. So this is a fairly quick thing. It's they say sets the tone for the rest of the lesson, but really I think it's more of a get their attention thing. Get them moving, because when they come in, they're excited for physical education. They're going to come and be like, woohoo, new teachers! And so, little kids love any adult because they're teachers, and so they just get really excited. And so this is going to get that little bit of energy out, so they'll actually listen coming up shortly. And you need to do something. So this could also be just something like when I first start classes, my first ones, these warm-up activities are usually classroom management things that I want them to do. So I want you to stand on a line over there, and then here's just a teaching hint for you. I will always say go. Because when you tell kids, I want you to stand over there, they just start running. And they don't hear the rest of your instructions. So you can either start with, when I say go, I need you to run over there, stand on the line, toes facing me. I just tell them at the beginning of class the first time, I will always say go, don't move until you hear that word. And it'll take them a little while. And that first day, I'm going to tell them stand over there. I'm going to say make a circle over there. I use a phrase called in front of me. And so I want them to go from wherever they are to in front of me, sitting down or kneeling or whatever, depending on the age group. This age group, I would say I want them sit crisscross applesauce in front of me. And they have to be somewhere in front, like they just don't be behind me, because I'm going to probably tell them something important or give them an example or something like that. So that can be where you start. This could be a tag game to get them going, but that's really actually probably better fit for the next one, which is a physical fitness thing. So I want them to have some sort of physical fitness. Please don't be the ones that just make them run laps. Unless you're doing a cross-country unit or your school requires you to do a physical test of a mile run or something like that, straight running is just going to make them bored. So coming up with something